Everyone, welcome back to the Gobbler Effect Season 2, Episode number 5 here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. My name is Chris Pierce. Happy to be back with you for another episode. Joined today, once again, by head coach Joey Mullen, as well as assistant captain for the Virginia Tech Hokies this season, junior forward Matthew Tullo. As always, gentlemen, how are we doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, doing great.
Yeah, love to hear it. let's Episode number 5. We already matched our season total from last year, so we're not even halfway through the season. So we're doing good so far this season, at least content wise. Well, let's kick it right into week 5 already. Perhaps the most crucial week of the season. But before we get into what is coming this week, let's backtrack and let's talk about what happened last week with your trip up in Maryland. You guys, again, continue to stay hot. Winners of 5 in a row, sweeping the Stevenson Mustangs. Coach, I'm going to start with you. What was your take of another successful weekend for the Hokies?
I thought we were really good defensively. Anytime you can limit a team to a goal a game, and we're on a pretty good streak of that right now. It's nice. The goalies have been really good when we needed them. The young guys have really stepped up, I think. The lines are really starting to gel. Thought it was a little sloppy this weekend, kind of too much time in the box. If we can stay out of that, we're gonna have to going into next weekend.
You guys are averaging almost 8 goals a game, but you guys are also allowing almost 2 goals a game. So, that's just a huge differential right there. But you guys have won 5 in a row, which is the first since 2001. 2021, when the majority of these guys who were on the team now weren't even on the team back then. How does it feel to have the hot hand so far?
It's nice. I think we're getting into a nice little groove here. Guys are really starting to get comfortable with each other on lines. We've played everybody this year has already played in a game, at least one. And so like we could roll out a different lineup every night if we wanted to and still be pretty consistent on the system and the effort and intensity and skill level we want to deliver every night.
And I know you mentioned your defense and your goalie play this past weekend, only allowing 2 goals. What are some of the things that you say to these guys to ensure that they don't get a big head, that that they stay mentally focused with a tough schedule coming up?
I really haven't had to say much to them. It's really come from within the locker room. I think the leadership and the upperclassmen have done a really good job this year so far. I think they know what their goal is, so I don't think they're letting anything get too far in front. They're just taking it honestly one game at a time. I know it's cliche, but that's how we've kind of approached everything. And with the amount of talent we got in this year, like you kind of have to be that way because if you look too far ahead and guys start getting in slumps because they're not playing the right way in a certain game, there's guys waiting and they're ready.
Yeah, now transitioning from the coach standpoint to now a player standpoint, man, I'm going to talk to you now. What is it like to be a part? I'm going to ask the same question I asked you to coach. What is it like to be part of this team who, just seems to keep the ball rolling each and every night?
Yeah, we're having fun right now. That's I think the most important thing. Um, as a young kid, like going out and playing hockey, it's just fun. You're not worried about anything really besides just having fun with your friends and playing the sport that you love. And I think that getting back to that, a lot of the younger guys are bringing that aspect into the room too. Just having fun again, and winning obviously is fun, but every day it's like hanging out with your best buds and then going out and playing hockey with them. And yeah, it's definitely fun to win 5 games in a row, outscore opponents with 11-2 this weekend. Nobody's having a bad day after that. Yeah, it's good. Just stay focused, keep moving forward.
Yeah. This season has so much potential. What makes this Hokie squad different from the Hokie squads you've been on in the past, or just in general teams that you've have played on in the past?
Yeah. So I could see it start the transition. It's cool because I feel like it started a lot my freshman year. That group of seniors, they were trying to bring everybody closer. And then last year I feel like everybody was closer than they were prior. And this year it's almost even night and day how close we are. And I think that's a lot to do with what the seniors did last year. bringing the team closer together, making all the now juniors and seniors realize that a close team is really like the most important thing going forward. So now I feel like we're in a really good spot where we're a really tight knit group. Everybody's got each other's backs. Nobody's worried to tell somebody what they got to do differently. Everyone can take the constructive criticism. It's accountability too. Everything like that up and down the roster. I think that we're a real tight knit group of guys. And I think that pays huge dividends.
And of course, you're a part of this leadership team mentoring these young guys. How have you mentored this young rookie class who's been phenomenal? And how have you yourself perfected your role as a leader on this team?
Yeah. So I like to lead by example and I like to try and push everybody at the same time. Um, so I think that just going out there and playing my game and doing the things that I'm asking other people to do is like the most important thing when leading a group. I have Austin Hearn on my wing. He's a great kid, great freshman. We've had plenty of talks about what's going on, everything like that. He's in a bad mood. I'm helping him out. I'm in a bad mood. He's picking me back up. We got a good chemistry going with that. All the young guys, they all come over to my apartment all the time too. So we're getting to know each other real well. It's a lot of transparency in the locker room too. Nobody's trying to hide anything from anybody. Um, yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody sees what happens on the ice. You don't really see what happens off the ice. I know you mentioned a little bit of bonding. What has it been like to bond with these guys off the ice? Not on the ice, but off the ice, being together, hanging out. What has that been like?
Oh, it's great. I think that's my favorite part of hockey, honestly. You could take away all the games and it'd still be my favorite part of hockey. I mean, we're having a pasta dinner this Thursday right before we go down to go up to Jersey. We had one of those before already. We hang out, watch all the football games together. A lot of Orioles fans, so they're upset they can't watch the games with me. But no, we play. I mean, we play NHL against each other all the time. I'm living with four other guys on the team, and I think we've almost played like 100 games each. Almost. We kept a scoreboard. Kubi's in way last, by the way. So just need to make sure to let him know. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. This group of guys just like hanging out with each other, and yeah, it makes everything so much easier.
Well, I mean, a pasta dinner on Friday before going to Jersey, very fitting in my opinion. Well, let's talk about this weekend and going to Jersey. I'm excited. I'm sure you guys are too. You guys have a 2-game weekend set with a Rider. First league game matchup. I believe it's Saturday, is with the Rider. I could be wrong. But anyways, a very important weekend nonetheless. Coach, I'm going to start with you. What are you going to tell these guys in the locker room this week to prepare them for what they're going to face this weekend with a tough Rider team who in the past can definitely put up some numbers?
I mean, honestly, we're gonna just probably keep the message the same. Just stay consistent. We want to control the game from our aspect. I'm not worried about what a lot of other teams are doing. I think if we play our game and make a team play to our pace and our systems and stuff like that, we're going to be successful. We're not going to chase the game. Ryder can score. It's always been one of their gifts as a program. They've always had some pretty prolific scorers. So I think having a good young decor, a lot of kids that can really skate are going to help. I mean, having 3 goalies, honestly, right now that are dialed in has been nice. You can roll any 3 we want whenever. So just keep it simple, keep it consistent. Long road trip, come out, play it simple in the first period, and then just go after it.
All right. Well, this next question is going to go, well, the rest of these questions are just for the both of you to answer, so you can go, back and forth or whatever the way you please. So they're going to come out obviously with a vengeance. They were swept last weekend in Carolina, losing the UNCW, NC State, and UNC, a very tough, challenging gauntlet that we're going to have to face in January, but they've just faced it this past weekend. Um, What is your guys' defensive motto this weekend? As Ryder is obviously going to be looking to start their momentum back up and bounce back from this past weekend. What is both of your guys' expectations when it comes to that, offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I'll start. So bust legs, we saw it in the first period this past weekend. It's a real thing, and it takes a little bit to knock the rust off your legs after sitting down for so long. So big thing is just gonna be getting pucks deep first couple shifts on offense. Not trying to get too fancy at the blue lines, just shots on net, pucks in deep, battle it out in the corners. On the defensive side, you just gotta make sure you have your guy. Don't leave somebody in the slot wide open. Make sure that you're back checking hard. Um, Picking up the guys. A lot of communication. That's what's key. Because when the legs aren't moving that well, you got to get the mouth going for sure. Um, yeah, just picking up guys, getting pucks out. High and glass when in doubt. Um, Back checking, picking up open men. A lot of communication, and those are definitely keys to the first couple periods that we're going to play up there.
I think the big things for me are just keep it consistent, keep it simple, and then being a road team, you got to manufacture your own energy. Like you're not going to get anything from their crowd, their team. So good energy on the bench, good energy in warmups. Just stay out of the box is a big thing for us. If we stay out of the box, play 5-on-5. We showed it against every team we played this year. NC State was a great first challenge for us to show us where we were and where we need to be. And 5-on-5, I thought we played them really well for our first game of the year. So stay out of the box, I think we'll be fine.
And one thing I do want to note is that this trip up to North Jersey will be the longest trip of the season, 7+ hours. So as Matt mentioned, bus legs is going to be a huge factor for you guys, especially in that first couple periods. But I do want to talk about starting off early and starting off hot. You guys are 5-0 when scoring first and are outscoring your opponents by 10 in the first, which is the most by any period this season. How important is it for you guys to get off to a hot start this weekend?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You want it?
I don't matter. Go ahead.
All right. And in past years, that's something Joey's been talking about a lot for sure. Is we've had some slow starts. We've been a particularly slow starting team past 2 years, I think. It's a big change this year, and I love it. Coming out hot, just 30-second shift for first shift, get a hit, get a shot, that's it, get off the ice, do your job. Energy rolls after that. And I think that it's gonna be key to keep doing that for the rest of the year. You can't get into the habit of starting slow and trying to make your way back through the next two periods. It's a lot better to try and hold the lead through a couple periods than trying to claw back. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, playing with the lead, every coach in the world will tell you, give me the first goal 5 minutes into a game, and I'm happy. You get to play on your toes that way. You're not on your heels the whole time. You give up an early goal, it can be demoralizing and can lead to some bad habits on the bench as far as guys barking at each other. Like you don't want to start that way. So we've been fortunate so far this year to even in the game we didn't score first. Every goal was scored in the first period.
Yeah.
So we still clawed back, took the lead, gave one up late in the first, but it's just this team has had no frustration on the bench at all this year. Even in that first game when we were down, there was never a moment of, hey, we're not going to do this or barking at each other. It's been nothing but positive. And I think that's what we've kind of changed over the last few years. Just kind of staying up on the bench. And so getting that lead early, especially on the road, is always good because it puts them on their heels in their own barn and grip sticks a little tighter and make a few more mistakes. And we get to capitalize on it.
Yep. Well, last question for both of you. Set the scene real quick. You guys faced this team last year in the ACCHL showcase. You lost 11-7 in a high scoring affair. The Broncos turn out to be the regular season champs, losing the second round of the playoffs to Rowan, the eventual champs. And then they come into this season, looking to, be better, continue what they built last season, and lose and get swept, but are coming back at home this weekend against you guys. My question is, you guys who are on a 5-game winning streak by, just putting that out there. What is it going to take to win? What is one thing that fans should be looking out for when they watch you guys play this weekend?
You want it?
I'll go passion. I don't know. I guess the passion. Yeah, just putting it all out there on the ice every single shift. Leaving nothing, left in the tank after the weekend, hopefully. Just really hustling and grinding it out. Yeah. Grinding it out every single shift, not taking the shift off, hard on the back checks. Just looking like you want to be there and playing like you want to be there.
Yeah, I think it'll be a concerted effort, just to bring energy. I mean, you got to think they traveled quite a bit this weekend over the last 4 days, played 3 games, so they're going to be tired too. So that's a long, daunting road trip. It's about 12 hours probably round trip each way. So and a bunch of stops in between. So we just got to come out and play our game. Keep it simple. I don't think we've really had to worry about keying in on certain things other teams do. We come play our game. Each team changes every year so much, so it's hard to prepare early in a year for teams. You don't really know. So I think we just bring the intensity, bring our effort that we bring the last 5 games. I think we'll be all right.
I couldn't agree more. Well, that'll do it for episode number 5 of the Gobbler Effect here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe on the channel here, as well as hit the notification bell for live stream and content updates this season. Matthew, Coach Mullen, thank you once again for joining us. Folks, don't forget to tune in this weekend as the Virginia Tech Hokies go on the road up north to take on the Rider Broncos in the great Garden State of New Jersey. We will be there for the first time on the road for the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. So we'll see you for both games live. We got you on Friday at 8:15 puck drop, and then a Saturday matinee at 1:15 p.m. Until next time, see ya. Go Hokies. And that'll do it.
Oh, perfect. That was fun.
Told you they're fun.